Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing so y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, this is starting to get very, very creepy. Because them are getting scary. You know, now we leading up into Terrence Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez September 12th. We know that. Huge fight. And I come in every now and then, every couple of days, and tell you that Terrence Crawford done won already, in my opinion, right? Because he goes from this guy who everyone in boxing knows, all the boxing fans and the people that are into boxing, they all know it. Just some won't say it, right? Mainstream media kind of just don't say it. Puts him real far on the pound for pound list and tries to keep the truth from the people that are out there, the casual fan, and know who this is. It's a ridiculously awesome legend living right now. So, and these agendas are very negative towards this man, right? Depriving people of seeing and focusing on somebody this awesome. Well, the reason why I say he's won already for the last month or two is because it's a high profile fight against Canelo Alvarez, right? A high profile fight against the face of boxing who everybody would know, even casual fans would know him. And now they're finding out, wait, the guy that was the face of boxing weighs much more than this guy. Who was this guy? And then they start seeing boxing legends, right? Saying that this little guy is going to beat this big guy, right? There's only about two people that's going actively like Canelo gonna beat him big. Like one guy was going to do a video about it, Joel Diaz, the trainer. He's like, you stupid if you think Crawford's gonna beat Canelo. He's adamant, and he's been adamant since day one. Got to give it to him. Abel Sanchez, another trainer, also thinks that Canelo's gonna win. Not because he's better, but because he's just bigger. Crawford's not going to be able to take those punches. Crawford's not going to be able to hurt him because nobody really hurts Canelo, right? And I just was saying back then when I heard that, I was like, well, shit, Bivol didn't hurt him. Lara didn't hurt him. Floyd Mayweather didn't hurt him. You know what I mean? Johnny Golovkin, the first fight, didn't hurt him. Those guys definitely beat him, though. We saw it. Two of them got credit for beating him, the other ones didn't. So you ain't got to hurt him to beat him. But be that as it may, they're adamant that Canelo is going to win. They by themselves on the island. It's starting to get creepy here, right? Canelo himself has just said today that he thinks Terrence Crawford's better than Floyd Mayweather. We can really stop the video right there. Boom. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all. But I ain't going to do that to y'all. Listen, man. Floyd Mayweather, we stopped there. But there's some people out there that thinks that this other guy is better than Floyd Mayweather, but that's delusional. But he's awesome. Awesome. He's a 6th division world champion. And that's Manny Pacquiao. Canelo thinks that Terrence Crawford's better than Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao thinks it too. Manny Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, thinks it too. Manny Pacquiao's promoter, Bob Arum, he thinks it too. And all of the pundits and everybody who was scared of Manny Pacquiao's well-being because they didn't want him to fight Terrence Crawford, and that's about 6 years ago. So damn it, yeah, he's better than him because they didn't want him to fight him. But also Oscar De La Hoya, the golden boy himself. Canelo thinks he's better than Oscar De La Hoya. Right? That's a pretty good scalp, don't you think? And one of the guys is awesome right now that beat Canelo already in Dimitri Bivol. Canelo thinks he's better than him too. Just said it. Well, basically, how it happened was, it's like shut your mouth until you hear somebody that's better than Terrence Crawford. And these names came and Canelo kept his mouth shut, which means he thinks he's better than all four of those guys. Right? For those who are going to say, well, Canelo going to say that because he's fighting them right now. He wants to raise the profile of the fight by saying he's good so he can get credit for beating him. I'm not going to argue that position. Unless you heard Canelo talk about Terrence Crawford before the fight was signed. Then make sure, because Canelo was saying similar things before they even fought each other. Okay? Make sure that's clear before you go there. Better get your interviews together before you get caught up by saying that. He was saying that really before. Now, Dimitri Bivol himself thinks Canelo's better than him. He thinks Canelo's the best fighter in the world. Alexander Usyk, who is the best fighter in the world, thinks Terence Crawford's the best fighter in the world. Bivol, excuse me if I say Canelo, Bivol thinks Terence Crawford's the best fighter in the world. He thinks he should be the playbook of how to learn boxing. It should be him. Lomachenko, 6 years ago, been saying that Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the world. Artur Beterbiev, all them four Eastern European awesome guys, Beterbiev, the knockout artist, thinks that Terence Crawford's the best fighter in the world. Amir Khan fought both of them. Thinks that Terence Crawford gonna beat Canelo. He don't know how, but he think he's gonna beat him if he stays to the course. John David Jackson, the trainer, right? Thinks Canelo been cherry picking for the longest. Thinks that Crawford's gonna, take care of business here. Am I missing somebody? Guys, it is starting to become ridiculous, right? Now, and I've told you guys before, you better hope that he don't beat Canelo, because the GOAT conversation is open at that point. He's already an all-time great, already the best of this era, right? But it starts to become ridiculous if he can beat Canelo, right? And I know people are really hoping like hell. That's why nobody's asking Canelo to get dope tested or nothing, because it's like, we cannot let Terence Crawford win this damn fight, because the accolades he's getting before this fight is ridiculous. Everybody's hearing. Trust me, them people over there, they get their little big old thing. They're trying to come up and figure out, we got to concoct something. We cannot let him win this fight, because at that point, that's over with talking any damn thing about anything. It would be a total takeover of boxing, and boxing will be where the hell it's supposed to be, and that face of boxing stuff will be over and all kind of stuff, and they can't let that happen. So, the chips are stacked against Terence Crawford, but if he comes some kind of way, comes up out of this fight, that's it. He's sure going to be in my GOAT conversation. He's going to be in the conversation, right? Now, the other people that's in there is also, I got some other people in there. I ain't going to say them in this video. This is an ode to Terence Crawford video. I got some other people that I'm going to argue with, even Terence Crawford, even if he beats Canelo, right? Because I think there's a lot of people that would have beat Canelo. It's just Canelo knows too, and he ain't going to fight him. Canelo's smart enough to know shit. If my fan base ain't going to force me to fight him, then mainstream media ain't forcing me to fight somebody that I know going to beat me, then damn it, I ain't fighting them. Especially if I don't gotta fight them, they gonna call me better than them. Shoot, bro, I ain't. Why would I do that? I'm rich. Canelo's the Mexican Rick James. I'm rich, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gotta be fighting everybody if people gonna call me better than them without fighting them. Why would I do that? So that's how we rolling. You can't blame him. It's the people. It's hey, it's New Russia, and that's how it's gonna roll, right? But at the end of the day, regardless, be that as it may, this is getting ridiculous. Terence Crawford is better than Dimitri Bivol, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, and I'm missing somebody else awesome. Did I say Oscar De La Hoya? And who am I missing? All of them fighters, he's better than. That is ridiculous. Y'all better do something about it, baby, because this man is ridiculous right now, and the world is paying attention. The world is really paying attention. Like I say, and I'm happy for the man, because he's been going through all this stuff. Oh, your resume is not that good, and he's beating all these fighters with separation and distance, And no matter what you find about these resumes, people talk about people, his resume is not that good. Gennady Golovkin's resume wasn't that good because he was pulling people up for a lower division. Gervonta Tank Davis' resume ain't that good because he wouldn't fight the hard fights. I agree. But I will also say, in defense of these fighters who I don't roll with, that I don't think everybody would still have the same record that they would have. A Deontay Wilder, for example. Everybody say they fought the same when Deontay Wilder went 40 wins without a loss. and the 40 knockouts or whatever it was, right? Those 40 people that everybody was calling bums, I don't think everybody beats those people and have that record. I think there would be some draws, some decisions, and all that kind of stuff popping off. You see what I'm saying? The same thing with Gennady Golovkin, same thing with Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, everybody wouldn't have beat those fighters with that much distance, separation, and knockouts, regardless of what the opponent was. That's what I'm saying. That applies to everybody. But Terrence Crawford, to beat all the people he's beat, to become two division undisputed, and all those people, all those undefeated fighters that people are ignoring, all those fighters that have one losses that people are trying to ignore and call them not great, like it was somebody in the lightweight division that was saying, "Hey, Terrence Crawford, I'm gonna beat you up." No, it wasn't nobody. There wasn't nobody in junior welterweight left. There was nobody in welterweight left. He cleaned it out, right? There's somebody sprouting up later when he's leaving and got other stuff to do, but no. And that's the difference. So, yes, the world is recognizing. Your turn. Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.